The generational divide has never been greater, and society today seems as if it's coming apart at the seams. Families, careers, friendships, and even finances are affected by this shift, and certain baby boomer life choices have been completely rejected. I'm in favor of at least considering bringing back some of these decisions, so be sure to let me know what you think in the comments. Today, dinner time in certain households means having food delivered and everyone grabbing food and going to their own corner of the house. But dinner for baby boomers meant gathering together around the dinner table, talking about the day, and sharing a dedicated time to be with family. This was back when nuclear families understood the importance of sharing a meal while also teaching their kids to converse with each other while practicing good manners. It really was less about the food and more about spending precious time together, time that many of us wish we could get back. People today are glued to phones and tablets all the time. And if you don't believe me, next time you're at the dentist or DMV, scan the waiting room. You'll find everyone scrolling and looking down and very little interaction. Kids today are the same way. They stay in their bedrooms all day looking at a device and hardly ever go outside. Baby boomers and their parents understood the importance of roaming free. From the moment breakfast was over, boomers headed outside for a day of biking, hose drinking, and hanging out with all the other neighborhood kids. Parents trusted that their kids would return home on their own. For many, that was when the streetlights turned on. This provided them plenty of time to make mistakes, develop common sense, and cope with adversity, all while having all-day adventures around the town. For kids who grew up this way, it was some of the best years of their life. I don't think the same could be said by today's generation. At Recollection Road, I believe preserving the past is incredibly important, and our friends at Legacy Box do too. So much so, they've offered my viewers a code for 55% off. In today's digital age, analog media like VHS tapes and film reels are fading, risking the loss of cherished memories due to things like mold, dust, and time. But Legacy Box, trusted by over 1.5 million families, offers a simple and safe solution to protect your memories before it's too late. With Legacy Box, you can convert your analog treasures into digital memories effortlessly. Send your VHS tapes, camcorder tapes, and pictures to Legacy Box, and like magic, receive back your originals and digital copies for easy enjoyment, sharing, and organization. And here's the kicker. For a limited time, enjoy an exclusive 55% discount at legacybox.com/recollection. Don't let your memories fade. Preserve your past today with Legacy Box. Buy today to take advantage of this exclusive offer and send them in whenever you're ready. Go to legacybox.com/recollection to save 55% while supplies last. One noticeable change in growing up and gaining some freedom is that teens today often forego getting their license when they turn 16. For baby boomers, that is all you could think about. Saving up for a car was something you thought about years before it was time. So paper routes, mowing lawns, collecting bottles, and whatever else you could think of to earn money was all about helping you get that first set of wheels. This was true freedom, the freedom to get out from underneath your parents and to begin to understand what it meant to be an adult. Baby boomers learned early on about hard work. They certainly weren't fazed by a boring job, meaning as long as they got their 2 weeks vacation each year and their pension, they could remain loyal to just one company for their entire career. A good job was a good job, and longevity with an employer was important to them. Bouncing around from job to job meant you couldn't hold a job, so it wasn't something that was tolerated back then. Fast forward to today, and making it an entire year at one job is an accomplishment. And it seems that it's a constant game of trying to make more money while also working less. Marriage for baby boomers was something that was done often and early. Marrying your high school sweetheart, moving out of your parents' house, and going to work began shortly after high school graduation. There was no mooching off of parents into your 30s back then. Young couples modeled their life after the generation before them. And so getting married, establishing a career, and eventually having children was all a part of their life plan. The advice about buying a house instead of throwing money away on rent wasn't lost on baby boomers. Yes, they would usually rent their first small apartment while they were settling into marriage, but buying their very own home was always the goal. These were really quite modest houses, ones that had just enough space to grow a family. And just like with their jobs and their marriage, it was meant to be a forever home. A starter home wasn't really even a concept back then, and so buying a home, paying it off, and building equity in it was how baby boomers got off on the right foot. If you've stuck around this long, don't worry, there's still more, but I wanted to let you know we have some retro merchandise available too. Just click the link in the description to head over to the store. Baby boomers began having children early on in their marriage. Most couples wanted at least 2 kids, which would complete their family. Although the late 1960s through the 1970s wasn't an economically good time, families were still growing. Today, children are an afterthought, and the population of the US has slowed considerably. Not only are people waiting longer to get married, but they are either putting off or not having kids altogether. For baby boomers, having children is an important part of living a full life, so it's hard to imagine not experiencing that kind of love. Baby boomers are a generation of people that really value their privacy, but that doesn't mean they were hiding from their doorbell whenever it rang. It just means they were careful with personal information and who they shared it with. Today's world of typing in personal information at the drop of a dime just to get an online discount is something that gives baby boomers anxiety. Just look at how many Americans have freely given TikTok permission to collect their personal data. One of the biggest differences between the baby boom generation and the young adults of today is that living within your means has taken on a completely new meaning. Boomer households balanced their checkbook, used coupons, budgeted, and saved what they could. Things today are a little different. Young adults are on social media, and they are competing to have the best of everything, even if they can't afford it. Some of them can't seem to pay back their student loans, but somehow afford a $2,000 ticket to go see Taylor Swift in concert. She's not packing stadiums with baby boomers, that's for sure. This is on top of the countless Amazon packages and Uber Eats charges that are being financed through a high-interest credit card. Cash is king. That's the way it used to be. Today, plastic rules and paper money is something that we are seeing less and less of. Some businesses have even become cashless, making it impossible to do business with them if you only have cash. For baby boomers, carrying and paying for things in cash was something they always did. It also meant they knew when to say no, and when it was gone, it was gone. Today, it's just easier to pull out a credit card with a 25% interest rate, when you absolutely can't live without that daily Starbucks coffee. Let me know in the comments if I missed anything, and make sure to check the description of this video for links to pick up a t-shirt and sign up for the newsletter. Thank you to our loyal Patreon supporters listed here. Visit patreon.com/recollectionroad to join the club. As always, thank you so much for watching.